afternoon, classmates. Good afternoon, sir. I'm Jocelyn Kim at Molinas from Team Sweetie Pie. So for today, I am going to tackle about preparing and presenting gâteaux, tortes, and cakes. Chapter 1, preparing sponges and cakes. So, definition of cakes. So, cakes are rich in muffins that contains in high proportions of fat, sugar, and eggs. They are leavened by air, steam, or carbon dioxide produced by baking powder and baking soda. So, when we say cake, diba, cake is one of the most baked products, and cakes are usually eaten during special occasions like birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, and other celebrations. So, cakes are sweet. It is made from a combination of liquid batters and with high fat and sugar contents. So cake, they are cooked immediately after we mixing, and relatively large in volume, light in weight, fine texture, and yes, easy to cut. So cake, they come in varying sizes and shapes, small, medium, large, single, double, multi-layer, and rectangular, rounded, squares, or heart shapes. So cake, it is not complete without the icing or frosting, with the addition of nuts, fruits, and chocolates. So other names of cakes that come in variations and served in a tea party, brunch, and in buffet desserts are the tortes, gâteaux, and petit fours. So first is tortes. So torte, it is a rich, multi-layered cake filled with whipped cream, buttercream, mousse, jams, or fruits. So torte is it can be made with or without flour. So second is gâteau. So gâteau, it is a small cake or pastry with fillings like custard, fruits, or nuts. So gâteau, it is a French word, cake. So the last is petit four. So petit four is a small baked product or confectionery taken as a dessert. So kani siya is kanang mga small kanang pieces of dessert, like ano mga wala na siya basta. So classification of cakes. So cakes are classified based on the presence of their fat. So there are 3. So there are 2 common kinds of unshortened cakes, white sponge cake and yellow sponge cake. So the second is shortened cakes. So shortened cakes, they contain fats or shortening. They are richer than unshortened cakes due to their fat content. So there are 2 types of shortened cakes. So pound cake and butter cake. So pound cakes are leavened by air, which is incorporated during the creaming of butter and sugar by steam that expands the product as it is being baked. So the name pound comes from the use of 1 pound each of butter, pound of egg, pound of sugar, and pound of flour. So next is butter cake. So butter cakes are slightly compact but light, tender, and velvety in texture. They are leavened by carbon dioxide, which comes from the addition of baking powder or baking soda. So, magdepende siya. Then, they are further leavened by air, broth about by the creaming or shortening. So, the beating of eggs as well as by the steam while they are being baked. So, there are many variations of butter cakes brought about changes in the following. For example, addition of more eggs, addition of more fats and butter, addition of more flavorings like coffee, chocolate, and etc. Addition of raisins, nuts, and dried fruits. Additions of fresh fruits like bananas, orange, etc. And the use of special sugars like honey, corn syrup, molasses, and caramel. So, the last is hybrid cakes. So, hybrid cakes, murag karon ba jud ko nakabatian. So, hybrid cakes, they ate a cross between unshortened and shortened cakes. Why? Because they are light and spongy, similar sa unshortened cake, but contain oil that is a characteristic of shortened cakes. So for example aning hybrid cake is chiffon cakes, belong siya sa hybrid cakes. So that's.
Good morning everyone, my name is Gino Andales. My tackle for this day, it is all about methods of mixing cake batter. It is very important to know what is the proper way to use of methods of mixing cake batters. Batters are classified as pour or drop batters. In pour batters, the ratio of dry ingredients to liquid ingredients is 1.1. Cakes, wafers, pancakes, and cream puffs are pouring batters, while cookies and biscuits are drop batters with a ratio 2.1. Okay? The four methods of mixing batters are: first, conventional method. Fat is cream and sugar is added gradually. Eggs are added one at a time to the cream mixture. Okay? Sifted flour and other dry ingredients are then added alternately into the cream mixture. Second, muffin method. The dry ingredients are sifted together in one bowl. In another bowl, fat or oil is added gradually to beaten eggs. This is now added gradually to the dry ingredients in the other bowl. Third, one bowl method. The sifted dry ingredients are placed in a bowl. A well or hole is made at the center. The liquid ingredients such as egg whites, oil, puree, or water are in the end then blended. Okay, number 4, the last, modified conventional method. This is similar at the conventional method except the egg yolks are separated from the egg whites. The egg whites are beaten stiff and percent of sugar is added to it. The stiff egg white is folded into the batter. Thank you.
Good day. I am Johnny Lumagsao and I will discuss the techniques in cake preparation. So, first, measuring. Accurate measurements comes with proper handling of tools and equipment. To measure dry ingredients like flour, white sugar, or baking powder, always spoon level with a spatula or any tools with straight, smooth side. In the case of shortening and brown sugar, it is important to press down the ingredients into the cup until all empty spaces have been filled up. Proper technique in measuring assures accuracy of measurements. Hence, the right proportion of ingredients is achieved. So, in every preparation, there is a measurement to be followed to have a better outcome. Second, creaming. When shortening or butter is creamed in a bowl, it should be at the room temperature or slightly below room temperature to achieve a smooth texture. Sugar should be added gradually to the cream batter until a smooth and fluffy consistency is achieved. So sa creaming, naghapoy i-achieve nga kanang smooth and fluffy consistency. Third, blending. This involves mixing and dry ingredients with the liquid ingredients using a spatula, rubber scraper, or wooden spoon. So sa blending na gitawag diri og sa atoa pa nga paan nga mix in plus. Nga kailangan tanan na ana para ini mix na natanan magamit di anta magkakuha para ready to prepare na. Fourth, folding. This is an important process in mixing of beaten egg whites into the batter. One should be careful to incorporate and retain the air produced in folding process. So mag-careful kita ni folding process. Maintain a uniform light movement in your stroke until thorough blending of the beaten egg whites and butter is achieved. Folding is best done with the use of a rubber as prepared done with one's bare hands. However, for bigger mixture, an electric mixer or the hand may be used. Next, beating. If the purpose of beating is to incorporate air, it is best to use a wire whip or a whisk beater. Beat with uniform motion, starting slowly then gradually increasing speed. For a better result, see to it that the egg whites are fresh, free from egg yolk mixture, and are the room temperature. Next, stirring. This is a process of mixing two or more ingredients. The tool frequently used is the wooden spoon. The spoon is moved a circular motion. The amount of intensity of stirring depends on the degree of consistency and the texture required. However, it is good to remember to stop stirring as soon as the ingredients are well mixed. Creaming. The creaming and blending are the conventional techniques in making cakes. If volume is the goal, use the creaming method, and the tardiness is the A. Use the blending technique. These techniques affect the character of the finished product in cakes batter. For example, over-mixing procedure, a smooth but tough product. The method of mixing, different mixing techniques, time and temperature, among others, are also affect the finished product. That's all. Thank you. Start.
My name is Angeli Santillan. My topics are getting ready for baking cakes and preparing unshortened or sponge cake. Getting ready for baking cakes. First, read the recipe. Read the recipe through the measurement of ingredients. It is very important to read the recipe to measure the correct number of tools needed, and also to know the step-by-step instructions. And also, it is very important to read the recipe to help ensure that the best possible food items are produced every time. Second, assemble the ingredients. Measure all the ingredients accurately and arrange them in the order when they are to be used. Check and recheck every specification required in the recipe. Third, set out the tools. arrange the tools and equipment needed. So the tools in baking cakes, for example, the rubber spatula, metal spatula, knife zester, and etc. So it is important to be clean and in condition. Then fourth, preheat the oven. Adjust the oven racks. They should be located in the middle as possible. So turn on the oven and set the required temperature. Preheat at least 10 minutes. Fifth, choose the correct pan. Use the specific pan size indicated your recipe. So there are many types of pan. For example, like springform pans, sheet pans, and etc. So the best pan are made of metal. Why? Specifically aluminum or aluminized steel, because it distributes the heat quickly and evenly. Then, 6. Work properly with the ingredients as prescribed in the recipe. It is very important to know how to properly execute the techniques in working with the ingredients. 7. Fill the pans. Pour the butter in the prepared pan about 2/3 full. Pour butter from a bit of a height and allow it to fold over on itself. Lastly, 8. Heating and cooling. Place the cake in the middle of the oven to bake. So, check the doneness of cake by inserting a cake tester knife or toothpick. To loosen the cake, run a knife around sides of pan using pot holders. Hold the pan and the plate together into the plate. Lift the pan of the cake, then insert cake into a cooling rack so the cake sits right side up. Let it cool completely. Next topic is all about preparing unshortened or sponge cake. So, when we say unshortened or sponge cake, they contain a large proportion of foam eggs and or egg whites to a lesser proportion of sugar and a very little proportion of wet flour if used at all. Then, the common ingredients for unshortened cakes. The common ingredients for unshortened cakes are cake flour, egg, sugar, cream, and acid agent that stabilizes the foam and improves the texture of the crumb. So first, cake flour has lower protein content, 7.8%, thus making it weak flour. It is very fine and velvety to the touch. It is the whitest of all flours and has starch content, making it superior for delicate fine textured cakes. Second, egg. The egg yolk provides the rich and creamy flavor. So the egg yolk means that the yellow part of the egg. So, and creamy flavor almost similar to butter. The egg whites provide liquid in the mixture. When beaten until the foamy stage, it contributes mainly to the expansion of the volume of the cake. Third, sugar provides sweetness and adds tenderness and color to the cake. So based on my research, the best sugar used in baking cakes is the granulated sugar. Lastly, the fourth, cream and acid agent that stabilizes the foam and improves the texture of the crumb. So that's all. Thank you.